today on Vibe with the Tribe?
Good morning, lady. I'm half buzzing. I'm half buzzing. I've been up a few hours and I've had my cup of tea, but it's been a weekend of contrast, so it's kind of stretched the energy. So don't quite know where my solid footing is. And I took your advice last night and got myself grounded. Had a good cup of tea, got myself wound down. I'm not angry or anything like that, but when you're working with this energy consistently over a day, it does become quite draining. So you need to charge your batteries. So I'm looking forward to whatever comes out today. I really am.
You know, when I do parties or events where there's a lot of people that get readings, I always feel like I'm wearing everybody else's clothing. Like after a few hours, and they're all different sizes. Like you have like a t-shirt on that's 2 sizes too big, and then a sweater vest that's like 3 sizes too small. I always feel like I'm in like a crazy mixed up clothing kind of situation. But we are streaming to your platforms, my platforms, and PNR, our collective platform. So, good morning, TD. TD's here. Happy Monday. I have been crazy busy I'm running that 20% off sale, and I've been crazy busy. So I'm so glad I have so many new clients that are coming in. It's really great. So I've been a little buzzy myself running around. But today, are we supposed to talk about aligning with abundance today, or did we do that last week?
No, we did a manifestation thing last week, weren't we?
We did the visualization last week, right?
Visualization,
That's
yeah.
what I thought. I was like, I'm pretty sure I mentioned aligning with abundance, but and I think the experiences that you and I are having right now, professional work wise, outside of our YouTube internet lives, I think that has a lot to do with this. So, the concept of the law of attraction, bringing things to us, is about being grateful for what we have, and being grateful for whatever stage those things are in. So, one of the things that I say all the time to universe is more, please. So, like, say I wake up in the morning and I've got 5 or 6 appointments booked for the week. And like some people will look at that and go, oh God, I got to do so much work this week. But I'm like, yes, more, please. This is great. Thank you, universe. This is fantastic. I'm gonna have a busy week. I'm gonna have a good week. I'm gonna have lots of people that I'm interacting with. I've been doing on my channel something called Mixtape Monday. It's an homage to my 80s upbringing. And what I'm doing is, because I do get a lot of client requests for celebrity readings. So I'm doing a Mixtape Monday where I try and get as many of their readings done in like rapid format as possible. So it's a half-hour program, I guess. And I just kind of rattle through all these questions that people ask me. And I totally lost my train of thought. I know what I was saying. So I have this huge list of requests. Like, it's huge. And I did find myself last night, when I was doing the mixtape recording, I was like, this is going to take me a while. And then I said, no, it's not. I said, we're going to do the rest of these videos all week. Gosh, this is great. And one of the things I said was, I hope that I get more questions from the little videos that I have to do out of this. So not only did I get requests for my Mixtape Monday, but I have requests for little videos the whole week. So I really hope I get more requests from that. So basically what I am doing is I'm aligning myself with this abundance mindset so that I can get more of that coming in. More people get to see me. I get more subs on my channel. I have to say, since I'm doing a 28-day gratitude and abundance program. And since I've been doing that, I gained over 500 subscribers in the 28 days. Now, I do think that there's a secret ingredient there. Another YouTube creator told me to post my videos a little bit differently. I'm doing some different hashtags. I think there's a few things that I made, just some minor tweaks. But for the most part, I'm living in that abundance. Rick, how do you put yourself into the abundance stream, if you will, the abundance energetic stream? How do you do that?
Do you know what? I don't think I've got a tried and trusted method. It's like with anything with me, most of my life I wing it, you know, and I get little sort of images and visions in my mind. So the last time when I actually sort of sat and thought about how I would attract something into my life that was positive, I visualized a magnet, because I've always known that what we send out is like a boomerang. What we send out comes back in. And I've always lacked patience with things. So one of my guides and inspirers that I did courses with turned around to me and says, so what is a commodity that you feel that you lack? I said, patience. So straight away I said, I get so frustrated. He said, well, the thing is, because you're sending that out, that's a lesson that you need to learn. So as you send out that thought and that frequency, as we've discussed many times before, that all energy is frequency, you send it out and it comes back in. So you have more opportunities to look at your impatience so that you can solve them and become a better person. So that put into my mind the vision of two magnets. So you can hold a magnet in either hand. And if you're sending out and you get it in the right movement there and you've got them the right ends, boom, they pull together. That force. So like attracts like. So, but equally, if you get up in a grump or you've got something going out there that's not very good and you're frustrated and you're angry, you're repelling it. So what you're in a sense doing is pushing away that you deserve, that you earn. So right at the beginning of my spiritual journey, the first thing that ever came through for me personally, when I was doing my own work for other people as usual, was practice gratitude. So that's what I do. I'm like you. If I've asked for something, and this is why I always talk about Amazon.spirit, because this illustrates the point completely. If I ask for something, and like you said, 6 appointments in a week, which, by the way, I've not achieved yet, guys. So if anybody wants to help me achieve that goal, 6 appointments in a week, then I'm not going to turn around and go, oh, because it's not on a Saturday, it's not on a Wednesday afternoon, it's not on a Thursday. Amazon.spirit up there aren't going to keep sending me any more people or directing them towards me because I've complained. I've done the order, and then when it's got there, I've kind of cancelled it before it comes back. So I'm always very mindful of when I'm ordering, and if it comes through exactly as I've ordered it, there's no complaints department. That's me. That's down to the way I've worded it. So I always look at, right, what I want, what would be nice, what would suit. And if it's something there that I've got to go out and do work, remember, got to's a command. So I've always got that choice whether I do it or not. So I don't need to send an order out. I just do it because I love doing this work. So my very nature, I believe, attracts that abundance. And because of the way that I am, and I'm blunt and honest and straight with people know how to handle me. So they feel comfortable enough to come up and offer me advice. And advice is like everything; it all needs collating. So I get into that space where I go, "Thank you for spending your life's hours with me. Thank you for helping me with that." And I believe that is noted. I don't know who's up there, taking the orders down, but I believe that that's noticed. Right? It's not about deserving it. It's going out there and actually believing that it's out there for you, because there is, whether we believe it or not, a world of abundance out there, and abundance takes many forms. So it's not complicated to order it, but I liken it to Amazon. There are other companies out there that deliver parcels, in case anybody's watching. But if you order from Amazon and you put out this thing, and then you put many orders out there, you get like 5 or 6 packages in there, and it's a great surprise when you open them up. So it's like, oh, right, yeah, I did order that. Now, some of them might have to be sent back because when you've received them, they're not quite what you thought they were going to be. So always say thank you, because the universe has done its part. It might just be you that things have changed. Something out there is not quite right. Don't make things fit if they're not right. Send them to the returns department, because that's what they do, right? Don't complain about it. Look at ways around it. So with my work, it's all winged. I don't think till you started bringing schedules in and things like that, where we record and things like that. I tell you, honestly, my head, it's just like two birds flying around in there looking for an exit. And
It's an illusion. I'm not as organized as that.
well, I just crack on with it, you know, because this is the good thing about this recent sort of discovery about how my mind works. Right, there are no rules and regulations. It's one of those that I'll go into it. It's like looking into a room with lots of different screens in there, and you're going in there and going, oh, right, that looks good. We'll have some of that. Right, how does that work? And I'm one of these that wants to mechanically thought strip with things. So if I get somebody sat in front of me that's going, I don't deserve it, that's how my life is, you know, knowing my luck, well, that's what you'll attract. You will attract more of those scenarios to you. So be uplifted. There are things realistically out there that we can't control, so don't worry about them.
Yeah.
So manifestation just comes in with, right, if there's a problem to address, I'll address it. If there's something out there that I want, I'll put it out there, and I've just got faith in the universe and the spirit world that if it's meant for me, it will be delivered. And whatever's delivered, I always say thank you. So for me, it's a really simple process.
So I you know, one of the stumbling blocks that I have is that I will let those limiting beliefs or negative patterns jump in. So, oh, it's Mary's birthday. Hang on, Mary. We'll both give you a message in just a second. So what happens to me is, so let's say, I don't know, my fence falls over in a storm and I need to repair the fence, but it's going to be an extra $1,000. Greg said everything right now is costing $1,200 for us. So every time we get an estimate on something, it's $1,200. So say it's going to be $1,000 to fix the fence. And I sit down and I go, okay, you know, to the universe, thank you for bringing that money to me. You know, I visualize my fence as being fixed. I see the guys out there fixing it, or Greg out there fixing it, or me out there fixing it. And I say, thank you for bringing that money to me. You know, it's done, and have gratitude. I'm glad that it's done. It protects our yard. It protects us from the neighbors. It keeps the dog in, whatever. I will start to go, yeah, but, and this is me after practicing that for some time. I'll go, yeah, but you know, I really need to fix the bumper on my car and I could use the $1,000 for that. I wind up getting into those limiting beliefs, and you know, I really need to spend that money on something else. You know, I should do this for the kids. I should do that. I should pay this off. And you know what you have to do when you get those moments where all of a sudden the $1,000 you're trying to manifest to fix your fence is now going to pay for groceries, the electric bill, and a car repair. You have to open up and think that the universe is going to provide for all of that. It's going to come in for all of that. So, you know, we can do Amazon.spirit and we can turn those negative thinking patterns around. Well, I don't have enough money to pay for this, that, the other thing. Open up the floodgates a little bit more. Ask the universe for a little bit more. You're not going to get $3,000 dropped on your desk one day as somebody walks by in a, you know, unmarked bag, but you're going to get those opportunities for it to come in. You're creating the energetic pathways for that to come to. Is it instantaneous? No. Amazon.spirit doesn't deliver in the same day. Amazon doesn't even deliver in the same day anymore. You know, we have to give it a little bit of time to come in. And I did a live last night, and there was somebody on the live that their son is house shopping, and they said, you know what, how is that going to go? How's the house going to go? And so I started to do a reading, and I said, he's got to open up his, I know I love Amazon.spirit too, Mary. He's got to open up his, he's got to think beyond the box. He's got to look outside of his his description of the house that he wants. And I said, honestly, I said, it's going to take some time. The house that he's going to wind up buying, I don't even think the owners decided to put it on the market yet. So him dropping that psychic bomb and going, hey, I want to buy a house that has this kind of specifications. The person has to make the decision, you know what, maybe I'm going to downsize. Maybe I'm going to move to a condo by the sea rather than living in this big house as an empty nester. Maybe, you know, and it's that decision process. Like we have to remember that Amazon.Spirit is not just working with us. They're working with the whole world. They are interacting with everyone. So sometimes they have to move those chess pieces around. So when you get those limiting beliefs, when you get those thought patterns that come in that say, hey, you know, we're going to block this manifestation, we're going to block that $1,000 for your fence, you have to think a little bit bigger. You have to dream a little bit bigger. You have to welcome in more so that you can cover everything. Have a great day, honey. Bye. I love you. Thank you. So that was my teenager leaving. So I want to make sure that everyone doesn't get stuck on the limiting beliefs. Those limiting beliefs can sometimes hold us back. A very wise man, a friend of Rick and I, says that, YouTube's a big platform. There's room for everybody. There's a lot of room for everybody. And I want people to think that in terms of the universe. There's a lot out there that you can magnetize to yourself. Easy. I know it sounds so easy. Be grateful, be imaginative, and draw the amazing things to you. Honestly, like when we bought this house 6-7 years ago, I never 8 years ago, it was 2016. It was a long time ago. I never thought that I would be running my own business down here. I never thought I would be on YouTube. I never thought I would have a psychic news channel with some amazing people. And those were all things that I started to create after we moved in here. All things that I started to put into play. I'm a Cancerian, so I love my home. I don't want to leave it. That when the pandemic happened, I was like, fantastic, I get to stay home. I hate to say that, but I really was. We were built for staying home. I have been slowly but surely crafting this life for myself. And here I am now. And this is what I do. And I think it's wonderful. And more, please, more universe, please. Thank you. I love all of this. It's great. No more kids or cats, though, because we have too many of all of those. But we don't have too many. We have just the right amount. We're full. So I put out a comment in there. What are some things you'd like to manifest in your life? So while we are giving Mary a message, why don't you guys let us know what some things you'd like to manifest are, and we're just gonna springboard off that. So Rick, you want to start with a message for Mary? Do you have spirit coming in?
I was sat there, and before you made the comment about how was it put? We were talking about things aligning, right? There was these words going through my head for Mary there. I don't know whether somebody's sort of, as I would explain it, putting on you a little bit and marginalizing you and sort of saying, stay in your own lane. But my energy and what my message was it is now time to move out of that slow lane and start moving up. So over here, we've got motorways. I don't know all of your terminology, guys, but over here, we've got motorways. And one of the things that I've always found with myself is sometimes I don't always stretch as far as I could do. I'm one of these that I sometimes struggle with my own ambition and actually being nice to myself. Let's be honest. I spend a lot of my professional career helping uplift other people, but when it comes to myself, I'm not always the best at it. So I said to somebody, could you help me with this? And they said, the problem is with you is you've got all of the tools in the toolbox, but you're tired. So you're using them in the wrong sort of place. So you pulled into a lay-by to have a break and check things out and recharge and have a brew and all of this sort of stuff. And then you've come out onto the motorway, you put your indicators on to come out there, and the traffic just keeps going by, and you haven't even made an attempt to get back into life's lane. So I feel around you, Mary, that maybe that's happened to you a little bit, that you've got a little bit bogged down in life's dramas. Somebody's maybe sort of put over the top of you with their intent and their It might even have been well meant, but I'm feeling I almost want to see it like this big reveal where I throw my cloak off and show myself to the world as this new and improved type of person. So my message is even if you just get out into that slow lane, it's time to make a movement and get your indicators on and get yourself across. So we're moving into mid-range and then the faster speed, because I do feel like there's opportunities and choices coming up for you over these next 6 months. But as we speaking about manifestation today, I think you need to take a step from the side of the stage to center stage and actually put out what it is that you want. And it's kind of like needing a little bit of discipline around other people. And I'm not talking about arguing or fighting, but sometimes that is enough, right? Just hands up and just go, right, I've got it from here. Thank you. So it's almost a little bit like taking your life back and steering the vehicle. So instead of being in the passenger seat, it's now up to you to drive. And if you don't drive, don't attempt to drive if you're not a driver. But what I'm talking about is that sort of spiritual sense of the things of taking charge. I feel I've got a lady's energy in spirit around you there. I'm somewhere around the heart space. So there was issues with breathing before she passed to the spirit world. I feel quite chesty and quite congested with her, but she's coming in. And this is a proper full-on hug for you. So much love from spirit, whoever the lady is, and myself on top of that. So I hope that made a bit of sense to you, Mary. Thank you very much.
So, Mary, I pulled a couple of cards for you. Let me see what we have here. So I pulled, and I'm going to agree with Rick. I pulled a vibe with a raise your vibration card. And living with purpose brings prosperity. So that resonates with his getting in the speeding lane, the fast lane, getting in that lane and going and taking flight. Now, the advice for you is to transform. Don't do what you ordinarily would do today. So if you're just kind of blowing off your birthday, which I've done the last couple of years, I used to make like a big deal out of my birthday because I'm the youngest of 4, and typically my birthday was not a big brouhaha. But after 4 kids, so if you were planning on just kind of ignoring the birthday and just not honoring yourself, change your mind on that one and make sure that you do something radical in terms of treating yourself for today. So I'm getting this very like 1950s mid-century kind of backyard with like lounge chairs and these fun drinks with umbrellas and things. Kind of looks like the spread that Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt did, but it's kind of like that. You should put on a pretty dress, put on a beautiful outfit, something a little out of the norm, and go outside and just kind of let that sun hit you and let it recharge. And the sun does amazing things. Not only does it help us process vitamin D and is good for our health. Some people shouldn't stay out in the sun too long, depending on medications, but it purifies our spirit. When we tell people to see that white light coming down and to fill themselves, that's the white light spirit light, which does purify us. The sun will do the same thing. When we do this, I feel very much that there are some, like, I want to say indoor blockages that are impeding you from kind of going out and just rolling through life and making that road smooth, the roadway that we got on and we put it in gear. So it's like you have to go outside and have the sunlight kind of blow these blockages away and kind of clear out those things. I think if you did that, if you go out of doors today and just kind of let the sun land on you, I feel like very much you're going to get some energetic changes in yourself that'll be very, very apparent. You're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel more lithe. You're going to feel like that cheetah in the forest. You can like run for days. I think you're going to have a very, very different perspective. So a little self-care, a little sunshine today. And if the sun's not out where you are, still go out there. You're still going to get a little peek through, and you can close your eyes and imagine that that mid-century backyard that I was just talking about, and just see yourself out there at the fun drinks. So, cup of tea, good cup of coffee, cup of that delicious black coffee with lemon. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about today. But I, I love birthdays. But Rick, how do you treat your birthday?
Well, I pretty much let it float past it. But I'm saying that, like for me personally, it don't bother me. But, and this is where I've got to contradict myself a little bit, I love prezzies, right? So my kids, even though they're in the 20s now, will wrap things up because I just love unwrapping presents. I'm not a thing collector as such, I'm not materialistic, but I do have my little collections of little bits of things, because I'm sure that in my former life I must have been a jackdaw, because I collect anything shiny, so shiny paper and all these bits like that. So when it comes round to my birthday, I go kind of, I don't know, introspective a little bit, and just see that timeline, that what I've done there. I don't get melancholy about it, where I'm down that another year's passed. I just celebrate the fact that I've got through another one.
Yeah, I don't get bummed out either. I'm not like, oh yeah. I never had like an issue with like how old I was, or we're both Generation X, so we're like evergreen.
Eggshell blonde, that's my colour. The
Yeah,
sun
exactly.
shines through my head, or other people think it shines out of my other end, but I'll dispute that one.
So, let me see if anybody has any comments about what are some things they want to manifest. Oh, I saw Samantha was here for a hot minute. Hi, Samantha. I think she's in and out.
I just want to pick up on something that you said just a few minutes ago as well, about when you've got the bills for something and you've got to pay a bill, and you're like, oh, it could have gone on something else. Right, so a little bit of history for me. When I first met my wife, and I've been with my wife for 30 years now, we both did jobs together that weren't well paid. We passed our driving tests pretty soon after we met, and we couldn't afford to buy a car, so we took out loans like a lot of people do. But we used to buy like what we call over here old bangers, second-hand things there that weren't from a dealer, didn't come with any sort of great guarantees or anything. So you'd run them as long as that were all right, and you would take them to the garage when they're on their MOT. And then as you put them through their MOT, you would sit there praying, because it was like, oh my God, are we going to get it? And we've had some cars that have gone to the garage, and then when we got the phone call at the end of their MOT, they've gone to that big garage in the sky because they broke down. So what I've always done is to try and put a few pennies by to cover things like that. And I've been able with my wife to get newer cars and slightly better. Not brand new or anything by any means, but they still require maintenance. So what I looked at then was, I've had a big bill this year for something that you think, well, that's not very important, but like without lights and heating and things like that in the car, it can soon cause a problem in the winter when you're driving. So I go to my bank account with a bit of what I would call the lip down, because this bill was ridiculously expensive. And I'm going, oh God, that's just going to clear my money out, because I'm going to have nothing left. And then I suddenly thought, right, that's where it needs flipping, right? Because in years gone by, if the car had gone to the great car graveyard in the sky, I wouldn't have had a car. The fact now that I'd got that money in place to spend on that car, okay, I wouldn't have much money left for the end of the year, but I would then manifest what I needed to come in. So I changed and flipped my thought pattern around by thinking, right, at least this time, yes, it was a big bill. Yes, it was like, oh God, but the money was in the bank. I didn't have to go out and borrow that from anybody. I didn't have to sort of compromise with anything. It left me cleared out, but at least I had the money in the first place to pay the bill, and I'd got my car repaired. So when you look at how things are going and you get a little bit downcast over things, just twiddle the dial a little bit and focus on the positive aspects of it. And this is coming from somebody who's an over analytical thinker, right? So I'm not sitting here on my pedestal preaching. What I'm actually saying is that the more you focus on the things that aren't quite to your taste, or they're not right, or what you lack, you will get more opportunities to look at that. So it really is, it sounds a bit silly sometimes when you talk about that, turn that frown upside down. All you need to realize is that we're presented with opportunities to learn every single minute of every single day. It's what we take from those lessons. If we take the sadness and the disappointment, then that's what we'll keep thinking about. If we take the fact that some of it was all right, okay, I want some more of that. So then you put that into place into the vibrational frequency chain as it comes into my mind, and you order more of that. You get more of that, you experience more of that. That raises your vibration. You walk past somebody and they're looking at you, smiling and a little bit happy. Oh, that's really cheered me up. What a beautiful smile. Oh, morning, you all right? Yeah, nice bit of sunshine out there, or like what it is round us. It's raining, and it's raining quite heavily. Somebody would say, oh, great weather for ducks. And it puts a bit of a smile on your face. And then what it does is it vibrates out. So we talk about vibe with the tribe every week. You're an important part of the chain, whether you realize it or not. So when you get down over things, just consider this. Every day's an opportunity. Every day's a school day. Every day's an opportunity to learn something. There is always something in a day that's positive. Just like if you're an awkward bugger like me, sometimes you have to look that bit deeper and that bit harder. So my weekend has been full of contrast. Saturday was like, lit went down. I was sulking because I wasn't busy. But I got the opportunity to deal with some very intelligent people who gave me some feedback about things, some new perspectives and things like that. Ideally, I would have rather have earned the money. But that was my day. That day was learning and putting things into place that hopefully down the line will help clients, will help these shows, that will put formats forward and things like that. So I took my positive from that, but it took a lot of hard work to find it. Now, yesterday, when I go out to an event and I was busy from the minute I sat down, what I took from that event was surface deep, because got a lot of feedback live. About how the readings had gone, working with the tarot, working with the energy, working with angel cards, working with some fantastic people. Got paid an extreme compliment from somebody because they'd actually traveled from where they lived a good distance and followed where I was going, and then came and had a reading with me. Well, that gave me a buzz. So when I got tired towards the end of the readings, I was living on that energy there, and I didn't have to look very deep for it. But it's like with everything, it's cumulative. And we've spoken about this off camera. Whether you're having a good time or a bad time, our energy is still going into it. So my important message to people at the minute, even with all of your manifestation, is keep grounded. Take your time out and don't get bogged down by either one or the other, because both of us will talk about the Wheel of Fortune all day long. The Wheel of Fortune's always spinning. Majority of the time, it's favorable. So it's taking those opportunities. But when you're doing things, everything requires work. Everything requires energy. Everything requires involvement. And some days we haven't got that energy. But if you keep up with that process of keeping in the positive mindset, then even when you're feeling flat, there's a crumb. But just remember, some days we have to dig a bit deeper. So keep your spades sharp.
Yeah. Like like me, I'm in this toxic positivity phase. Like nothing's gonna stop me. Yeah, I think there's a program that Paul, the fitness hutch, did that was like Unstoppable or something like that. And I thought that's such a great word for how my toxic positivity is manifesting. I'm unstoppable. I'm going to be toxically positive. I'm just going to be like, nothing is impossible. I'm unstoppable. Things are going to happen. I'm going to keep them moving forward. And if it's a job you're looking to get, if it's an art project you're working on, if it's money you're trying to manifest into your life, be unstoppable. Believe, make sure that you believe that it's coming to you, and walk in that, like, and Rick, I think you do this without even knowing. You walk like it's already happened. You walk into your day like it's already happened. Like, it's going to get here. I ordered it. Amazon.spirit. It's going to show up any minute. And I think that that's a component of it as well. So, and I apologize, my camera went out for a little bit. I was here the whole time. I was listening and I was here the whole time, but my camera went out for a little bit. Rick, we have a few people that are requesting readings. I know we did one for Mary because it was her birthday. Do you want to do a couple readings?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've got Crystal, and she said, I missed my question yesterday. I'm not sure if we missed it or so. Crystal, elaborate on that, and we'll come back to you, love. And then we have Sarub. Am I saying that right?
You're asking the wrong person there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna call you darling. So let's see what we get. And are we do you want to start first while I'm shuffling over here? I always shuffle.
Right. So this is it's not new for me, but it's a different format for me. So how I'm doing it this morning, and I like to explain my workings out, because when I did my exams all those years ago, you used to get marks for telling you how you work things out. So all I'm doing is I'm just concentrating just for a brief few seconds on your name. And I apologize that I'll probably pronounce it wrong. It's not meant. It's just that how I'm reading it. So I'm going to say it's Sarab. I hope that's right. I'm concentrating on your name, and then imagine throwing a tennis ball out into the universe, and what comes back is what I throw out at you. I don't put a handbrake on it. This is how I bring in my energy around you. And the thing is, I'm calling you out a little bit, in the great wrestling promo style. I'm calling you out a little bit, but not in a negative way. I'm just asking you to step forward into your true light. We spoke about the lovely sunshine influence there, but as I concentrate on your name, I have a place on around my waistcoat called my anxiety pocket. Right, I suffer from anxiety myself. So when I went into hospital and had my kidney stone removed, that was the site of it. So now when I'm dealing with somebody that's got anxiety around them, or a little bit of nerves or apprehension around them, I'm drawn energetically to that side in my anxiety pocket. So the sense around you is now it's time to either throw it in the effort bucket, as if anybody's watched my videos before, or deal with it and accept the situation and move out, because I feel like you're hiding in the shadows. It's time for you to step out there and bring your skills and talents to the fore. So I'm feeling around this that this is more along a sort of a practical route, that it's now time to make those changes and have the confidence. Spirit wise, I'm picking up somebody, and this is what I would like to explain about how I work. I get images, I get smells, and then I get certain signs around people. So whoever I'm bringing in from the spirit world around you, when I get this on the back of my head, that's somebody that's either had Alzheimer's, dementia, or a stroke condition, or something that's affected their ability to speak. There's a lot that's being said there in quietness. In the quiet to you at the moment about your spiritual development. The words that came back in as I threw that out was, thank you for everything that you did, and I was wrong. I was wrong. So they're sending a heartfelt apology about something. Excuse me a moment. I'll just mute it while the dogs finish barking.
No, that's okay. I'll pick it up. And just give me a hand up when you're ready. So Rob, I'm getting the same thing, is that I know Rick was calling you out, and I'm getting the same thing. You are a divine facet of the universe. So what does that mean? That means we are all jewels. We are all jewels that the universe presents. So sometimes we need to polish up the jewel. Sometimes we need to scrub ourselves up energetically and get out there so that we can become the magician, show the knowledge that we have, and turn other people's wheel of fortune right side up. Sometimes that is our job in the universe. So I definitely agree that Rick was calling you out a little bit. I think you need to step into your power and step into your gifts and affect those people around you. Be the psychic bomb. I talk about people that, I'm sorry, Rick. I talk about people that are psychic bombs. They walk into a room and you immediately know that they're angry. You immediately know that they're having some kind of a drama or something. Be a positive force like that. Walk into the room and be like, yo, I'm here. Really, there's energy that you need to send out to others, and when we do that, we wind up getting that back. We wind up getting it back, in a multiple of that. So all right, Rick, are the dogs okay? Can you talk?
Yeah, it's just the wife comes in at dinner time and they bark at a flea 3 streets away, so that's what they're like.
I'm there too, don't worry.
So the sense was there with you that, I mean, you summed that up lovely, because I'm just sat here in this lovely heart space feeling there of feeling. So spirit, when they give me numbers, they paint numbers and it's like a big brush. So over these last 3 years, there's been a lot of emotional upheaval around you that rightly it's took a toll on your confidence and your self-esteem. So you're in what I would sense is a recovery mode. But when I call people out, I'm doing this for a reason. It's not to shame or embarrass you, but I do find that people, once you go into that fight or flight mode and you're going into that space of battle, you can become comfortable in your discomfort. So you wake up every day, and when you've got a battle on, you resign yourself to, I've got to be in that battle. Sometimes it's a sense of just, right, let's just put everything down and look through my kit and just have a look what I need to carry, what I need to fight, what I need to prepare for, what I need to put to one side. So it's just that sense of being brought forward now. You don't owe anybody in the spirit world any explanation. So any guilt that you're carrying about anything at the moment needs to be put by the wayside, because it is not your burden to carry. So a lot of support, a lot of love and light going at you. And rather than saying you're getting a massive hug, this is a weird one, but it's what's being brought in. You're getting a bit of a fist bump or a sort of, keep going. You're doing okay. And that's about as emotional as whoever that is going to get that. So organize your thoughts, get yourself into a place where you are ready to move. And when you're offered the opportunity over these next 2 months, be ready to take it. Okay. Chariot, onward direction and travel. That's what's coming into my mind. So enjoy.
Yeah, for sure. And that fist bump, I just want to warn everybody, when the universe starts nudging us, sometimes the fist bump turns into a steel chair. So to stay with our wrestling theme for today. And the lovely Gemma would like a reading too. So Gemma, I'm going to throw a vibration card for you. I threw a whole bunch of them on the floor, but we'll pull this one out for Gemma. Where there's a will, there's a way. So when I get that card, and we're talking about manifestation, that makes a lot of sense to me, because this just says, and I'll just bring up the card real nice and big for you. This just tells us that no matter what, we can think and will our way out of any situation. So, back to my fence, back to the car that Rick was repairing. It doesn't have to be defeatist. So, oh, my fence fell over. Oh, my car broke down. I don't have the money. So there it is. I talk about people flopping into, and I talk to my clients about this, like, don't flop. Don't flop out of the situation. So, a big situation, somebody, has a major repair in their house, major repair in their car, major repair in their fence, and they just flop and they go, well, I'm just not going to fix it. I don't have the money. I guess it's not going to get fixed. That is such a defeatist attitude. That is limiting beliefs, blocking abundance in spades. It's huge. we have to always realize that there are ways around things. It may not be, somebody dumps the unmarked bag of unmarked bills on your desk at work, but there's always a way around it. If we believe and we live in that moment, we walk in that abundance, we align with that abundance, and get creative. You're going to visualize this. You are going to, feel that happening, feel the change. If you want to get healthier, if you want to resolve a medical issue, you have to walk in that. You have to feel that condition going away, healing. And it has to be a consistent practice. You can't just, I love people that like kick off their week and they go, okay, I'm going to meditate. I'm going to feel really good. And I'm going to, not be sore and not have arthritis and not have this and not have that. And they do it one day and they go, okay, well, I didn't get it. So, that didn't work. That didn't work.
That's me in
Well,
meditation.
yeah, of course it didn't work. You can't build a house in a day, like, and there's a lady on the internet. It's flylady.net. And it was a cool program that I found when I got pregnant with Angus. I still had my canine business. I was working like 60, 70 hours a week. It was a lot of work. It's a lot of work to take care of a kennel and a farm. And, it was a lot of work. And I was told I couldn't work anymore. I had to put my feet up. And, because my day was so regimented, I was like, what am I going to do? And so I went to this Fly Lady. I said, I need a housekeeping program to like kind of keep me on track. And so I went to flylady.net. You guys can go check her out. She's really cool. And every week she has you focus on a different area of your house. She has you decluttering. It's really great. Every day there's different tasks. And one of the things that she said, and I didn't have this issue because I wasn't, very cluttered, but she said, if you are struggling with clutter, if you're struggling with adversity, it didn't get that way in a day. You're not going to fix it in a day. So you have to, have this chip away at the stone. So if your stone is, some kind of payment on a car repair or a fence repair or something like that, chip away at it. Every day you're going to try and manifest a little bit more of that money to you. A little bit more of that money to you is going to come to you. And it will work over time, but you have to, it's like everything else in your life, you have to work for it. It's not genie in a bottle magic. It's not, Robin Williams is not going to show up in a big blue cartoon outfit and, just hand you stuff left and right. Wouldn't that be great, Rick? Wouldn't that be
Oh,
awesome?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I love that parade in that movie. You're just not going, you can't expect anything to be instantaneous. Like I said, we're carving out energetic pathways with the lady who her son's looking for a house. The house that he might buy is probably not even on the market yet. It's going to be on the market. He is working toward getting that house to him. So it will take some time. So, don't let those limiting beliefs come in, the negative patterns. If anything, get more creative with your imagination and your manifestation. If you're imagining a two-door convertible, white convertible, little hot, sexy car that you want for yourself, start filling it up with options. Start putting a different GPS system in it. Maybe now it has leather seats. Start getting creative. Aim high, and we're going to get some facsimile of that back. So, so there it is. So do you have a message for Gemma too? I'm sorry, I pulled my card down as well.
I was sat there and I brought in a lovely lady's energy in around you, Gemma, just to bring in some comfort. I think the way that she was presenting to me, I don't know whether she had circulation issues before she passed, because I'm feeling like I really wanted to pull a shawl around me. I couldn't seem to get warm. I was sat there and I felt really cold. But what she's basically done, even if it's symbolic there, is just opened up that shawl and that lovely cardigan type of thing and pulled you in and give you a big hug. And it's basically, I think, to get you going again. It's almost like fueling you to deal with what you deal. Well, not for you to deal with it, but to help you deal with it. Because I don't feel like there's anything that you're not doing, but it's just that sense of knowing that you do inspire a lot of people, that you are on a difficult path at times, and people love you for being your unique self. So don't give up is essentially what I'm saying. And just to pick up on a point with you about this, now I have a very short attention span. I struggle to sort of focus on things for long periods of time. And we have the Gaia channel on every now and again. And I've got this sort of selective hearing process where I'll be on YouTube or on Facebook or something like that, games, and watching other little bits of videos. And Bruce Lipton came on. Right, and Bruce Lipton, I like his voice. Right, I don't know a great deal about the guy, but I like his voice. He's got that sort of tone that when you start talking to him, you feel quite relaxed. So I was listening in on him, and he started talking about the manifestation where thoughts go. And he says, right, forget about energy. He said, this is actually been scientifically proven. He said, you think a thought. And the thought, if you imagine it landing in the palm of your hand, so you think the thought, and the thought then manifests, right? But it's got to go on a process before it actually comes out into real being. So it travels up to the brain for consideration. Now the brain relies on input, but you've got two opposing forces up there. You've got the conscious mind and the thinking and the subconscious mind. Conscious mind is the one that does all of the thinking and the analyzing and the over analysis and what's going to happen with this, that, and the other. And like I described it last week, that the subconscious mind, what that is like your mate that just goes, yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So it's all in there for consideration. So it's all in a big mixer, right? So like the cocktail shaker, it's all in a big mixer. It then gets poured out. A decision is then made. It's usually by the conscious thinking mind, right? So it looks at you and it knows you. It knows how you think and how you process, and gone, well, you don't normally lie to me. You're not a regular person that tells me wrong information. So I've got to take this at face value. Right, okay. So we then start to put our energy into the universe that then matches our environment. So if you think that you're a load of crap, your environment will start to match. That sends out that frequency and that vibration. So you will then attract people on that vibration. Yeah. So sometimes when you've got problems around you and people who are problematic around you, just look at how you're handling your own personal situations. What have you drawn in? So if you're one of these that thrive on dealing with the what do you call them, trolls, the scammers and the people like that, and you're up on their toes, you will often find that you can only battle on so many fronts. So you'll leave the door open and somebody will blindside you with something, but they're on that same crap frequency. So sometimes it's just a case of going, right, that's got to go wherever it needs to go. I'm not saying being a doormat by any means, but sometimes we need to take the fighting equipment off and take a stand down and go, right, okay, I'm not sitting in any judgment. I've sent out my pink blankets. It's still not working right for me. I am just going to step away from all of this and you have the battle. Because the thing about a battle is you can only have one if everybody turns up. So I don't turn up to them anymore. It's not a case of cowardice or not having the skills or anything. It's self-preservation. So just be mindful of your vibration when you're getting, oh, this is going shit, right? That you will also attract other people around you. And it's kind of like that pity party moment where it comes in. Oh, and you can even see it in people's body languages. And with, how are you doing today? Oh, yes. I've had an awful time. Right. Life's real. We get that. So we're not talking about putting false faces on, but just be mindful that there's a price for every energy interaction. And if you're in that space where, oh, I'm tired, life's getting me down, just my luck and all of this sort of thing, then your environment is going to be adapted to your thought processes. So if you're not feeling particularly good one day, keep yourself away, keep yourself grounded, keep yourself protected, because if you go out there, we talked about the magnets earlier on, then you will magnetize people that are feeling in the same sort of manner. And what you end up doing is you sort of ring fence that world that you're in, because what they'll want to do is, oh, bless you. Yeah, I've had a similar experience. And then somebody will come past and they'll look at you and go, well, what was you talking about? Oh, well, this happened and that happened. Oh, bless you. I went through that 2 years ago. And before you know it, you've got a bloody crowd and you're all sat there and it's like, oh, God, all we need now is a bus and we could have a party to get, oh, dear. So sometimes it's just take yourself out of the system. Have a chance to ground yourself. Just deal with your thoughts, right? Because if we're the thinker of the thoughts, we can also manifest the remedy to the thoughts that we're thinking. If we leave it out to the universe will match whatever frequency we're sending out there. So it's kind of like sometimes we have to be the gaffer, be the boss and step in and going, right, that being said, listen in, guys, come on. And because we're dealing with fragments of our soul all of the time.
Yes.
There's parts of us that are involved in many different meetings, many different aspects of our life, some seen and some unseen. So sometimes somebody has to step in and be the rational one and go, right, let's have you all back in here. Can I just have an attention? It's like a toddler that's got run off the reins, right? Let's have you back here. Listen in, right? What are we dealing with right here and now that we need to take charge of? Yeah, but no, right? Adult talking now, shush. So if you've got experiences where you've had trauma in your past, right? Okay. I've had trauma in my past. I think lots of people have. If you talk to the majority of people, they've got trauma in the background or difficult times. But you're dealing with it at the age that you are now, and that's given you wisdom. It's given you life experiences. So when your inner being goes off on a tangent somewhere, excuse me, right? 52, talking, right? 18-year-old you. Let's have you back here in the room. You that's had a Mardy yesterday. Mardy is a Lincolnshire term for people that have got the lip down. Right, you had a Mardy yesterday, but I'm here now. I've learned. I've got up this morning, bit tired, bit fresh head, bit grumpy maybe, but you need to come in here and listen in. And it's about having that discipline about yourself to go that all form is temporary, class is permanent. Just a thought. Rambling as I tend to do.
No, I'm just putting in the comments. A Mardy with a D, a Mardy.
Yeah, Mardy, and
yeah,
it's a link.
Grumpy helped me out there.
A link, yeah, Mardy arse.
So we call that a pickle face in our house. Like, why do you have such a pickle face? Like, why do you look so sour?
Oh, you got Mardy's on. Mardy arse. Yeah,
I'm going to add that. So yeah, one of the things, like, we have next week is the end of our 6-week this section, but I think what I'm going to do, and I'll send this over to you by email, Rick. I have a teaching that I do with my students and with my clients, where we go up in a high-rise building. We ascend vibrationally. And we talk about the different people that are on the different floors. So I think that'll be after next week. We'll do the high-rise elevator ascension, and we'll just talk about, like, it's kind of like the Dante's Rings of Hell, but opposite. It goes the opposite way. So we have a lot of people that are asking for readings, and just so you guys know, if you do want to get an extensive reading with either of us, you can go to my website, fortunecookiestarot@gmail.com. There's a scheduling link in there, or there's scheduling links in the description of this video. And Rick, you can reach out to him at mediumrick007@gmail.com. We both do readings all week long. This is what we do for a living. So, there's just a lot of people that are jumping in asking for a message here and there. If you want to get something a little bit more significant than what we're giving you in here, by all means, schedule with us. So, Tracy is trying to manifest growth and forward movement in a passion she's had her whole life. I do okay, but I'm trying to do better, but I get discouraged every time.
Oh, I'm biting my fingers. Right. I have no moral code, really. Right. All swear words are okay with me. I try my level best when I'm on screen not to swear, but I fail quite a lot of the times. But one of my own personal swear words that I don't like, especially around clients, is the word trying. That is a huge swear word with me. And the reason, and I'm going to explain this very quickly. Right. So if you imagine, and we discussed this at length last week, that all words have got their own frequency, they've got their own energy. So when you write them down, that's why you call them, it's called spelling, because that's what you're actually sending out to the universe. So in that short sentence, you have got trying twice, right? So even if you're not consciously thinking this at the moment, you have sent a message out there that you will tolerate short of where you are. So if you imagine your line's there, and that's success. But, oh, well, I'm trying to get there. Right. So at some point, if there's something just slightly short of that, you're going to go, yeah, that's all right, because I felt like that at the beginning. I think I got somewhere in and around that mark, I'll be okay with it. Right. Trying. Yeah. So trying for me is a message to the brain that you're willing to compromise and that you've already possibly thought of a reason why that you won't make it. So I use an example. So my waistcoats are very important to me because they're my comfort blanket. So when I'm out on stage delivering anything like that, it's a signal to spirit that I'm ready to work, but it's also this opportunity for me to get out of my daft thinking head, and I play this caricature. So I need those waistcoats for my security blanket so that I can step into my character. They need dry cleaning. That's the only way that they can be cleaning. So, and this is a story, by the way, because they can get away with washing them, but just bear with me on this. So they need dry cleaning. So I go down to the local dry cleaners who's got a very good reputation, and I walk in through the door and say, I have got a very important weekend coming up where I need these two specific waistcoats, right? I need them done by close of play today. So your opening hours on there say 5 o'clock, right? I need them there, right? So he comes out with that phrase, that swear word, and he said, I'll try, right? Immediately that sends off this chain reaction in me of going, he's already 2 miles ahead of me because he's thinking, oh, well, I have this rush order that comes in every week. There's the potential that there's this lot that's got to get done, and I've got 1,000,001 other jobs, and I've got to get home a little bit earlier because the missus is wanting me to take the kids here. That right, he's already ahead of me. Right, what I needed to hear from him so that I got confidence is I will do it, because then I can hold him to that. Because if I get there and they're not done, then we have to go down a different route. But if he's saying try, he's already imagining somewhere in his mindset that there's potential that it won't get done. On that thing, I want 100% cast iron guarantees because I need it. And that's not even making any allowances for it. So when people say trying, right, don't try, do, right? Change the energy. I am, or in that case, to make it sort of grammatically correct, I am manifesting growth and forward movement in a passion. I have my whole life. I do okay, but I'm trying to do better. Don't try to do better, do better, right? Because it sends out a different vibrational frequency. I get the part about you get discouraged at times because that's reality in life. But when you send that energy out there already, get it into your heart space. I know I will do it, because it's sending out that message to Amazon.spirit there that there's an expectation from you, no compromises. That's what you want. If you're willing to compromise, set the bar shorter. It's up to you, but it's about level. So if I want £1,500, I want £1,500. £1,499.78 is not what I asked for, but I'll be okay with it if they offer me it. No, I won't. I needed £1,500, so that is what I want. But if I say, oh, I'm trying to get there, well, they'll deliver that bit. So just be mindful of your energy when it's going out there. It is so precious. I know I keep getting like on my soapbox about this, but it's just when I see people's wording of things, I'm going, right, you are doing okay. You are doing well, but don't shortchange yourself. Don't give the universe an opportunity to shortchange you. it's just what my passion is around people's energy. Accept the best and put that out to the universe, and then see what is delivered to you. You might have to make adjustments because that's life, isn't it? But don't ask permission. Tell them.
Yeah.
Tell the universe. Put that energy out there that this is what I want. No shortfalls, no compromises. Okay. Just say, I'm sorry, I'm on my soapbox again, but
No,
I
no,
don't
no,
care.
that's
I'm
okay.
on this show with you.
That's okay. No, we're
We
having a
love it.
great time. Tracy, I have 2 bits of information for you. So, the first one is a quote from our local football coach. There was a guy, he's still alive, Bob DeMarco. He coached our football team here, our high school football team. And the year before I was a senior, we were like champions all over the East Coast. Like, it was really an amazing football team. And they just dedicated our stadium to him, our high school. We have a stadium here for American football. And they put his quote on there, and it says, "Be best, be the best, be the best." I think Melania Trump said it too, but it's "be the best." I'll take a picture of it. You know, that was an uncompromising coaching style on his part. So, that's something, not that I was, I was a cheerleader, I faced away from the game, but that's something that always stuck with me because I remembered him saying that to the football players while we were all practicing. I remember him saying, "Be the best. Be the best. Don't try to be the best. Be the best." Now, here's another bit of advice. And I did there's a book called 2 Weeks Notice by a gal who is a business coach and a professional coach. She worked with Tony Robbins at one point, and her last name's Potterfeld. She says you can start any business, you can do any endeavor, and you have to understand that there's going to be competition out there. You are not going to be the first nail technician, you're not going to be the first artist, but your audience is going to align with you. Your audience is going to resonate with you, with your beliefs, with your art skills, with your product that you're putting out. The you factor is so important. It's a great big world. We already quoted Trevor once, and now he's in the comments. We'll quote him again. It's a great big world out there. There's a fit for everybody. I paraphrased it, but there's always going to be someone who thinks that you are the very best and the most amazing at what you do. Embrace that. It's not, you have to understand that there's an audience for you. There's a client base for you. There's a market for you. You just have to be the best in that market. And that's with mindset. And here I pulled some cards. It's safe for you to shine. Success sometimes eludes people because they're afraid they're going to be braggadocious. And I'm going to quote someone else, my mother. She always says, "No one honks your horn unless you do." So it's okay to go out there and say, "Hey, this is what I have to offer the world. This is what I'm showing you. This is what I do. And I do this for a living. This is how I make my living. So, if you like it and you want to pay me for it, fantastic. If you don't, someone else will." And that's something that as a reader, a lot, I'm sure Rick has the same experience. A lot of us will get friends that say, "Oh, you do readings? Can I get one for free? Like, it's a gift. You got a gift." It's not a gift. We work at this all day long. We do continuing education just like everyone else. We do courses. Right now I'm doing a course in past life regression therapy. We actually do work at this. It's not something that was just bestowed upon us. If it were medieval times and I could wander around from village to village being put up by the local whomever, yeah, that would be great. But the reality is I live in 2024 and I have bills to pay and kids are expensive. And this I do a lot of gifted readings, like on YouTube and in person. But when people are like, "Oh, well, it's a gift, you just got that naturally." No, I work at this every day. It's just like everything else. It's not like, this shining light, like, but to that point, work at what you want to do every day, and expect people to pay you for that. Expect people to honor you by supporting your family. And every time you sell a piece of artwork or whatever it is that you're doing, every time you do that, I want you to say thank you. Thank you to the universe for gifting me this skill, being able to do this, for being able to express myself in that fashion. I thank you. And say it 3 times so you don't throw the thank you away. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That third one should be really strong. Here, temperance, understanding that, this is a good thing that you can do. Don't let the bad thoughts creep in. Don't say, well, I'm still practicing. I'm still doing this. No, step in there. A certain president's son started doing artwork in the midst of a substance abuse issue, and he was spitting paint through a straw onto canvases. He was selling them for $500,000. He was not an artist. He just created a market and started selling things for $500,000. So, if that guy can do it, who's on trial right now, anybody can do it. So, find the good, grab on when you wake up in the morning. I want you to say, thank you for the ability to do this. Grab on to the T on the thank you and jump out of bed. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to stick with that all day long. The fool in reverse, sometimes we have to leap before we look. Sometimes we have to do that. And if you're going into, again, like I quit a corporate job last September, I'm doing okay. I quit my corporate job. I was like, I'm giving up my salary. I'm giving up, putting into my 401k. I'm giving up benefits. I'm giving up all this stuff. I leaped and I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm doing well. Business is booming. Things are great. My channel is booming. You have to leap out and just say, yes, I'm going to do this. Your instincts will guide you in the right direction. You're on the way to that pathway. You just have to follow the instincts. Sometimes we can't let logic jump in. Now, I'm not saying quit your job, give up your job and your salary and just go, oh, I'm going to, get a caravan and start selling things down the road. Work at it bit by bit, work slowly up to it. And Tracy did post this too. She drove down the road, and the road works, and all the workers smiled at her, and it made her day. It made her day. You need to do that for yourself in the morning. When we wake up in the morning, the first thing you should do is congratulate yourself for opening your eyes and taking that first breath. That's a big thing. When you start to set the pace like that, you're going to have a good day. Now, here's a little practical tip. If you stumble upon something that you have to say something bad about, say 10 nice things. If you can't say 10, say 5. Say 10 nice things. So say your spouse gets on your nerves, he's breathing funny today. Like, it's really annoying. Immediately after you say that, 5 nice things. Well, my spouse works really hard. Well, he did get me flowers last week. Well, he took me out to dinner. Well, he let me watch the movie that I picked. And I love him because of that. To be sure, I'm not talking about my spouse because he's perfect. But turning it around. So, we can do the same thing with our endeavors and things that we're getting involved in. Whenever we have a negative thought, say 5 good things about it. 5 good things. I'm really good at this. Sally down the street really likes my painting, or Bob up the road really likes the way that I fixed up my car. You can do all of that. You can turn it around always, 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 always. So I'm going to skip down to Twisted Tiara just real quick. So grounding mats, are you talking about the electrical ones? I know there's an electrical ones, and they're pretty expensive. Me, for grounding, I just go outside and put my feet on the ground. And I just recommend this to one of my clients yesterday. I have what's called a prana mat. And it's a mat that you roll out, and it's got like a little pillow, and it's got like these little spiky plastic bits on it. It's not a bed of nails. But I find that that's very good for grounding too. And I usually fall asleep as soon as I get on it. But the cheap and easy way, go outside, take your shoes off, put your feet on the ground, on the bare ground like grass. That's the cheap and easy way. Rick, do you have any experience with those grounding mats?
No, I don't even. I'm going to be honest. I don't even know what they are. I'm like you. I have an issue with feet and things like that. But I've learned over these last couple of years of sitting out barefooted, walking on the grass. It's not something I find easy because it gives me the ook. It really does. But there's sometimes where you just need to make that connection. If you're not like me, that you're sometimes in quite high states of agitation in the mind. Sometimes that's the best thing to do, is to just go and find a way of distracting yourself. And if that's connecting with Mother Earth or the ground, or sitting there, or just basically leveling yourself out to anchor yourself in the moment, take a good few deep breaths. Because somebody was looking at me yesterday and I felt like I was doing really well, and they went, right, I just want you to breathe. So I played along because I felt all right. But if anybody's offering you the opportunity to breathe deeper, they pick something up around you. So just breathe deeper. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if you breathe through that full cycle, we've got into this before again, so I don't want to go too deeply into this, that as you breathe through from the crown chakra down to the root chakra, quite often your body will tell you where there's an issue. Because if you're breathing through this, breathing right the way through the cycle and breathing in and breathing out quite deeply, then you won't notice sort of any vibrational fluctuations. But if, say, you've got an issue where people are coughing lots, and please don't, I don't want to get down the medical route with anything, but if they're coughing around you and you're going, right, so what do you need to get off your chest? Because they'll then tell you that, oh, can't seem to clear my throat. So what's going on around you that needs communicating? You sort of start breathing through as you go through that cycle, and there's something in your head that you need to get off, and it goes down to the chest area. So there'll be something emotional. So it's all about keeping yourself grounded. Keep breathing. We don't always have to spend money on technical stuff when Mother Nature, bless them, provides you with that thing for free. And you said there about getting up every morning. So go out there, sit there, and just thank the universe for the fact that you've opened your eyes. Go put your feet on the ground, wander in the grass, take a good lungful of the air around you, assuming that you live in a clean air city. But you know what I mean? It's just keeping things. And one of my favorite things, and it came from a military background with my dad, my grandfather, and myself for a short spell, is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate stuff. Because that's where our problems come, is when we start thinking and analysing what's going on around us. So if you keep it simple, stupid, deal with the stuff that you can deal with. Remember to breathe, because, again, if we're not breathing properly, that's where we keep that stale energy within. And that's still got to work its way around the system as well, which will add to the frustration, will add to the anxiety, will add to that. So neither of us, Anna, and I feel comfortable speaking on your behalf with this one, are what we would describe as hippy dippy.
No, we're not.
We're normal, everyday people. But I think sometimes us as a human race of people overcomplicate stuff when we don't need to. We just get into that vibration of, oh, it's one thing after another at the minute. And you get your tin helmet on and you just go into the flak. Whereas if we can just break that process, breathe a few times, what we're doing is actually breaking the cycle of behavior that's going on around us, which gives us the opportunity to look at it from a different perspective. And this is what we talk about every week, different perspectives. But if you think that you sat there, everything in our life is built from the ground up. So if you take time out to go and sit and ground yourself, you're going to have a good start. And it's then what you put into those foundations which will structure your day as you go forward. Just a little thought there.
Yeah, and I popped up PM13s. I beg to differ, but in life there aren't ironclad guarantees. They're not. But what we can do, and that's the thing, when we ask the universe for certain things, they sometimes give us what we need at a different time, or they give us something slightly different than what we wanted. So the universe will still give us things that we need to work on. Being gracious and having gratitude for everything that the universe has offered us and has given us. The breath we take in the morning, that's not necessarily guaranteed. That's something that, we should be grateful for. So, I don't want everyone to think, we go out there and, it's, again, the genie with the bottle, we're just like, oh, we just wish for everything. I want a Ferrari in my yard right now. Please let there be a Ferrari in my yard when I go upstairs. But we do that gratitude for what we have, the gratitude for the things that we have will turn into more of what we want. And it's the idea of having a very positive, toxically positive approach. So that's okay. If you guys ever disagree with us, totally fine. PM 13, this is a perfect, respectful disagreement. I love that. Totally love that. We're not all going to agree all the time. Grumpy Sapper said, life is not easy. That is a defeatist kind of thing. Life is easy. We just have to go with the flow a little bit. But Grumpy Sapper, we love you. And he says you have to get off your butt and open your eyes. I agree with that. Some people will sit at home and meditate all day long and meditate on getting that $1,000 on the desk. You have to actually do the practical work too. It's not just going to show up. You still have to do some practical work. You have to, I hate to say try, but you have to put in the effort. So I agree with that as well, Grumpy. So Crystal's here. She's been trying to manifest a good man. And I want to know, do you see it happening this year? So, Rick, I'm going to
I'll leave that one in your expert court, because that's not my field there. I get more into the what are you doing to bring that in. So I'll leave that to you.
No, that's where I'm going to on this. So let me pull up the card view again. So Crystal, basically what we're going to look at real quick is just see what's blocking a good man from coming into your life. Because, and like I said, Rick and I are going to do, I'm going to work with Rick on crafting the curriculum for this, but I have a whole lesson plan for my clients where, we're ascending in a building. So every floor has some different folks on it. So you may need to get up to the 5th floor and you're on the 1st floor. You might still be in the lobby. So, we need to, or you might still be, with the porter sorting out your bags out front. Sometimes in order to meet that partner, we got to go up to their floor. So let's see what you need to do real quick. So Crystal, finding the sweet spot. Oh, let me make that a little bit bigger. Make that a little bit bigger for you, sweetie. Finding the sweet spot. Okay. And this is a tough one for some people. When we have these times of dearth of relationship where we don't have a primary relationship in there, or we don't have an abundance of friends, or we don't have a lot of friends that are doing social things and we're kind of lonely, we're maybe single and at home. The universe is giving you that, time bandwidth for yourself so that you can do something else. And this is a time period that you are to work on yourself. You're to brush up some things. So the luxury of being alone, when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is I get my tea or my coffee, and then I get myself together, because I know the minute everybody in my house, dogs, cats, kids, husband included, everybody's going to need something from me. So the luxury, it's very rare that I have an empty house here. I certainly, the pets are always here, but it's very rare that I don't have anybody here. But a few weeks ago, I had a whole Saturday and no one was here. And I was like, what do I do with myself? I'm not quite sure what to do with myself. And I was like, well, I could clean, I could do laundry. And I had to stop myself from doing the things that make your house go. And I just said, I'm going to sit on the couch and I'm going to watch like a movie on Gaia. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to sit. I'm going to watch something on Gaia. I'm going to fill my cup. I'm going to replenish. And then I'm going to sit back and I'm going to think about it. And that was exactly what I did. You're in that kind of a phase, but you've got a prolonged phase. So, self-exploration, there's something that you need to be filling your cup with. Um, Turning the milieu of your life into an environment that's going to attract that person, that's going to be intriguing and intellectually stimulating and exciting for you. We need to create a better milieu. So filling your cup with something is going to change the disposition around you. And then we start to attract someone that is going to be really engaging. So I do think we have someone coming probably 6 to 8 months, but I do think that you need to make some adjustments to the energetics around you. Crystal, I think we may have a reading coming up. Your name looks very familiar, so so maybe I'll see you in the future. So TD says patience is something she needs more of. That I am terrible at meditating, but I do find that meditating and seeing the timeline of things makes me feel a lot better. So what does that mean? Like, do I see like, like I just did with Crystal, like I see, 6 to 8 months, we've got somebody coming in when she brushes up the energetics around her. I see it more as like a timeline of to-do tasks. Like, what do we need to do? Like setting those goalposts for different things that we want to accomplish. That when I meditate makes me feel a lot better. And I always see my goalposts as telephone poles. It's a holdover from when I used to run. When I used to run on the street, I would kind of pull myself along with the telephone poles. You just got to get to the next one. Cause when you're running, sometimes you feel like you're dying. So I would just focus on the next telephone pole and get to the next one, So when I see that that visual timeline that I'm meditating on, I see the telephone pole. So maybe if I want to build a doghouse, my first telephone pole is going to be, drafting out the plans, making sure it's going to fit my dog. My next telephone pole may be going to Home Depot and finding out, that the wood is going to cost me 3 times what I expected it to. Maybe the next one is I put it together. Next one's I paint it. Next one, I got to train my dog to use it because he doesn't want to use it. Exactly. No, I've got a couch in the house. Patience, you can actually meditate and visualize a course of patience for yourself. So I hope that helps, my darling. And I think we've got Grumpy saying everybody loves your waistcoats. Also, fist bumps in his house turn into glares. Oh my. Crystal says she's certified teacher, so she has patience, and she's been single for 6 years now. So and yes, we do have a reading. I will see you later, I think later this week. So fantastic. We'll talk a little bit more about that, Crystal. Not to out you on the channel, sorry about that. I need more coffee. Tracy lives in New Zealand. It's midnight, she's going to bed. Good night. Thank my you. Dear. I would love to move to New Zealand. They have giant bugs there, though. You know what? I'm not like terrified of bugs, but we have those giant spiders coming to New Jersey soon, and I'm not really keen on that. Yeah, not really keen on it. But Rick, we went long today, but this was good. I think we got a lot of stuff done. I think we raised a lot of vibes. Next week, what are we going to be talking about next week?
Episode 6.
Episode 6, and then we'll work on the high rise one. Tracy said no, we don't have big bugs at all, and we've got a new person. Hi, Jody.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, if you go into the description, you can subscribe to both of us, and then we'll see more of you. We do this every Monday. This is your Monday kickoff. You know what? We'll give Jody a card. We'll give Jody a raise your vibration card. This is just so that you can set your week off at a good pace and raise your vibration so that you have a great week. And we've been talking about gratitude for the last 3 months, right? Last 3 months. That was the sample card. Sorry about that. My light attracts light, Jody. So that is a good message, because this, we've been talking about gratitude, law of attraction, bringing things to us. So if you keep that light a burning, keep things happy and good, have a great disposition, and you're grateful for everything that you have, you're going to be bringing more of that into you. So, we need to do a tour of New Zealand, Rick.
I have to get a passport first.
Well, that's easy. That's just that. You got to take a picture. You got to take an ugly picture and give them some money, and then you get a passport.
This face is easy to take an ugly picture.
Well, they don't let you smile in them now. You have to be like super grim. Oh, it's terrible. So next week we're going to talk about living in gratitude and manifesting miracles. So that's going to be a neat thing. Hi, Debs. We got Debs showing up. Good morning, Debs. We're just wrapping up, so you can watch on the replay, love. But then I think the following week, and we'll figure out if we want to do another 6-week jump, or if we might take a week off or so. I think we have some summer holidays coming up for both of us. And
Stonehenge for me next week.
Next week you're on holiday?
So no, when we come in on Monday, so it'll be 11:15, 11:30 our time. I should be having my dinner and probably get some prep work done, and then I'm going down to Stonehenge for the solstice fest.
Stonehenge is next week. That's great.
A full week reading and working with people's energies.
Before we log off, for people that don't know your story, you had a very profound experience at Stonehenge, didn't you?
Blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And it's something I'm looking forward to going back to. My guides, my inspirers, my spiritual team have told me that I've got quote unquote unfinished business to deal with. And of course, I shall be doing the readings, and I shall go to Stonehenge, and I shall deal with my fear and my PTSD again with crowds, but it's ultimately worth it, because it changed the vibration, it changed the frequency, it changed the energy of the energies that I was actually working with. So personally, I can't wait. The only thing I'm not looking forward to is that I won't get much sleep, because it was like lying on a battery charger for 4 full days, and I was buzzing all the time. And even though I was being grounded and following the advice that we've said here, it's just such a magical experience. If I had hair, it'd be standing on end about now. It's just something to look forward to, and I'll report back if we do something the following week after. But yeah, so next Monday I will do the recording, and then I shall be away for Psychic News report that week as well. So we'll get a plug in for that. But I will be away, but I will be at Stonehenge, and I shall still be connecting in with everybody's energy. So I'm really excited for what's coming up as well.
I think you should live stream from it.
It's whether I'd have the facility to do that, because I don't use
is there Wi-Fi at Stonehenge, or is it all psychic energy?
It is pretty much psychic energy. So we're actually about 5 miles away from the Stonehenge site, and then when it's the solstice, we'll go up there sort of sunset. The more hardy among them will stay for the sunrise on the solstice. I won't. I'll go up there for about an hour and just sort of sit in and vibe with the tribe as we get up there, and then come back early hours of the morning, because the likelihood is when my sheet goes down on the table, I will be reading all day, because I am the only reader on camp for 5 days. So I'm going to make hay while the sun shines.
Wow. Now I want to fly out. Wow. I'm so jealous. I've always wanted to go to Stonehenge. We have Sedona, Arizona here, which is like a power center that people flock to. So We should go on tour. We'll work on that. We'll make that happen. We'll get a tour going.
Psychic News Report will make that happen, guys. Watch this space. I don't do very many predictions, but stick with this lady because she's driving us all the way.
I'm driving people crazy though. So, well, listen, I think we're going to wrap it up. So next week, guys, we'll be back for Living in Gratitude, Manifesting Miracles. Last section of this call to action. Make sure that you guys call your own shots on your limiting beliefs and negative patterns. I know I called out Grumpy Sapper. I love him to death. I'm just teasing. He knows that. But make sure that you're not blocking your manifestations and undoing all of that positive work. The word try, I think that was so beautiful, Rick, that we shouldn't try. We should do, we should be, we should make things happen. It's amazing what you can do when you believe and you craft that vision and you see it in the future, and then you roll up your sleeves and you get it done. It's amazing what you can make happen. So everybody, I hope you have a great week. Rick, we're going to stick around. You and I are going to talk a little bit more. But everybody just have a fantastic week. We're going to have Rick going on adventures, and we're going to be back for the whole summer. We're going to keep lifting up spirits for the whole summer. We all need it right now. All right, everybody. We are out. Have a great day.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in.